Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Hari Srinivasan. I'm a journalist and a news anchor for the Public Broadcasting Service in the United States, and one of the MCs for the Climate Benefit Concert. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to this program for the next 2 hours. You'll experience music and dances from different parts of the world and messages from eminent climate scientists and leaders. Before we start the program, I'd like to say a few words about the reasons to organize this concert. You all know how climate change is taking a toll on humanity, but few of us are aware of how the melting of the glaciers in the Himalayas are causing existential crises for more than a quarter of humanity. The Himalayas, which means the abode of snow in Sanskrit, are the third largest deposit of ice and snow in the world after Antarctica and the Arctic. They are melting faster than in any other parts of the world, and it is contributing to causing extreme floods in South and East Asia. You don't have to be reminded of the recent devastating flood in Pakistan. It drowned a third of the country and left more than 33 million people homeless. Many megacities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Dhaka, Ho Chi Minh City, Bangkok, Shanghai, they're all projected to experience intense sea level rise by 2050. The melting is also threatening the life of the 240 million people who live on the mountains and hills. Hundreds of thousands of people have already deserted their homes and become climate refugees because of the retreating glaciers and ensuing water crisis. The central and eastern Himalayas are projected to be ice-free between 2035 and 2050. These glaciers feed the 10 largest rivers in Asia, and nearly 2 billion people depend on these rivers for drinking water and hydroelectric power, while 3 billion people consume the food produced in these river basins. The rapid retreat and disappearance of these glaciers can have devastating impacts on these people and could destabilize the region and the world. Therefore, it's essential that we take immediate action to stop or slow the melting of these glaciers. We can't wait another 30 years for the climate to stabilize. We need to act now. For more information, visit healthyclimateinitiative.org. Thanks for watching.
While the world urgently decarbonizes, we're not saying you can skip that. You can't. We have to get to more sustainable solutions for energy and fuels. But while we do that, if we don't slow some of these terrible feedback effects, we're in big, big trouble. And there's really not much time left to make the difference. I've been hearing it remarked that the experts, this is the one field where the experts are more worried than the general populace. And you hear things, we've been hearing things for years, we've got till 2100, and then, we've got till 2050. Well, this next decade is the last chance we have to make a difference. And more recently, I've been hearing, we've really only got 3 years.
It's tempting to just look at this and say somebody else is going to take care of this. It's very tempting to say that. If not me, who? If not now, when?
The solution is to try to replace that lost bright reflective ice, that function of being able to reflect sunshine. Got a thin shell of silica around, beach sand basically. It is hollow glass microspheres, but it floats. By the time we build up to something like 1 or 2 hair's widths of material on top of snow and ice, we can slow down the melt substantially.
Every degree matters. Every degree is so worth fighting for.
Hi there, I'm Kate Walsh. Climate change is accelerating the melting of the cryosphere with catastrophic consequences. One of the less talked about issues is the melting of the Himalayan glaciers. These glaciers feed the 10 largest rivers in Asia, and nearly 2 billion people depend on the rivers for drinking water, agriculture, and hydroelectric power. While the rapid melting of the glaciers is causing sea level rise and devastating floods downstream, the retreat and disappearance of these glaciers would destabilize the region and the world. Therefore, it is essential that we take immediate actions to stop or slow the melting of these glaciers. We need to act now. I wholeheartedly support this initiative to preserve our glaciers and wish the concert organizers the very, very best.
Durgam Chatterjee. I'm an interdisciplinary artist based in India, and I'm very happy to be a part of the Healthy Climate Initiative. What a better way to create awareness and also celebrate our environment through the arts. It is very important to know that we live in a very strange world of 240-character tweets and 1 million Insta reels. Short attention spans and instant gratifications are our guideposts. Globalization and our addiction to cheap, disposable goods are destroying our world. Technological change, shifting demographic patterns, increasing urbanization, and unthinking industrialization has taken its toll on the natural world. Human beings have exploited nature for their own selfish needs and demands of an ever-consuming society, has pushed nature beyond its natural regeneration cycle, which is very, very scary. As the nightmare of the past 2 years have shown us that nature has a demonic power to destroy our world unless we change our ways. The world was brought to its knees and the godlike humans became mere pawns in nature's great game. It was a warning shot fired across the bow, which, if unheeded, will destroy human civilization as we know it. Rising sea levels are destroying the coast. Deadly storms are ravaging part of the world, while other parts become parched and fields lay barren. Earthquakes, floods, and fires have been increasing all over the world, and the rising sea level from the glacial melt are threatening to actually down parts of our world. Climate change has become an ever-present threat and an alarming reality, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's listen to our hearts and our minds now and act. Let us spread the mantra of conservation, of healing, and respecting nature. Of course, stopping as much as possible of the impending climate change. Here's to our global friends of nature. Now, we would listen to the Vans Classic, and I take this great pleasure of introducing Vans to all of you. 30 years old Anji Anche, also known as Vans, lost his job as a journalist in 2016. Used his last savings to start a 1,000-bird poultry farm to support his family. Floods killed all 1,000 birds, and droughts in the northern region of his country starved his father's 60 cattle to death. Out of desperation, it then dawned on Vans that climate change is real. He met Daniel, one of his university choir mates who had studied environmental sciences to start making music for climate change awareness campaigns way back in 2017. They admitted Tony, Jordan, Dan, Cyrus, and several other young musicians with whom they make music for environment and sustainable development activism. How interesting is that? Today they have been joined by several volunteers in Cameroon with whom they have created an organization called the Creative Artists for Nature and Sustainable, CANSAT. They performed in Ghana to support the conservation of the Guinean forests of West Africa in 2022. Finished overall best performing band at the World Youth Forum Theatre in Egypt. Won the Best Inspirational Song at the Africa Overseas Awards, AOA, in Switzerland. With the 5-song Green Music Unpublished album, Vans Classic, ladies and gentlemen, is Africa's leading green music band. Our theme today is My Home Here and There. We will hear 3 songs. I must introduce these 3 songs to all of you. Save the Glaciers, Earth Song, and Africa. May I introduce the songs to all of you. The first song, Save the Glaciers, is when the Himalayan glaciers melt, the consequences are global. There's floods right even in my neighborhood, in Douala, Cameroon. Vans is calling on the world to take urgent action to limit carbon emissions. The next song, called the Earth Song, which is composed by Vans Classic, Vans actually dwells on plastic pollution. He says, 8 million pieces of plastics find their way into our ocean daily. 79% of plastic waste is sent to landfills or the ocean, while only 9% is being recycled. The next song, Africa, is almost a tribute to humanity and environment because it says, it's my home, it's our own. We have to protect its forests and biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce the members of the band now. Andre, founder and lead singer and composer. Honore Pabu, arts director. Daniel Keys, lead pianist. Jordan, accompanying pianist. Cyrus, lead guitarist. Tony, bassist. Danny drums, the drummer. Daryl, backup vocalist. Gavin, backup vocalist. Jan Seaman, dancer. Ari Evelyn, dancer. Baby Claude, sound engineer.
You can save it for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. HCI. We are serving the Himalaya glaciers, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready now? Transport. Hey! Send me for the Lord's God. Say that. Send me for the Iceman. Say that. Send me for the Lord's God. Say that. Send me for you. Send me. Say that. Yes, I can. Yes, you can. 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 Yes, I can. Save it for tomorrow. Yeah! Are you ready? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Introducing Doha. Dohar, the word in Bengali, means chorus. Dohar is a group of folk musicians from Kolkata, India, with traditional folk instruments of Bengal. The group was co-founded by Rajiv Das and Kalika Prasad Bhattacharya in 7th August 1999. Both the members came to Kolkata from the Barak Valley of Assam. Kalika Prasad and Rajiv both were lead singers and leader of the group. Unfortunately, Kalika Prasad died in a road accident near Garup village in Hooghly on 7th March 2017. The remaining members of the band have continued singing under the leadership of Rajiv Das, and they always feel the presence of Kalika Prasad in spirit. Presenting Doha.
বেলা দ্বীপ্রহর ধুধু বালু ধূপেতে কলিজা ফাটে তিয়াসে কাতর আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে আসমান হইল টুডা টুডা জমিন হইল ফাড়া আসমান হইল টুডা টুডা জমিন হইল ফাড়া মেঘ রাজা ঘুমাইয়া রইছে মেঘ দিব তোর কেডা আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পাইটা পাইটা রইছে যত খালা বিলা নদী পাইটা পাইটা রইছে যত খালা বিলা নদী পানি লাইকা ঠান্ডা ফিরে পঙ্কি জলদি আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পানি দে ছায়া দে রে তুই আল্লাহ মেঘ দে পুবালি বাতাসে বাদাম দেখলে সাইয়া থাকি গো আমার কেউ আসে রে দারুণ আষাঢ় মাসরে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে শুনা বন্ধুরে যেদিন হইতে বর্ষার পানি আইলো আমার ঘাটে শুনা বন্ধুরে যেদিন হইতে বর্ষার পানি আইলো আমার ঘাটে অভাগিনী মনে তখন রে কত কথা উঠে রে দারুণ আশা মাসরে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে শুনা বন্ধুরে ভাগ্য যারো ভালো নাইও যায় আষাঢ় মাসে শুনা বন্ধুরে ভাগ্য যারো ভালো নাইও যায় আষাঢ় মাসে উকিলালি সে নাইও রে কার্তিক মাসের শেষে রে দারুণ মাসরে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে পুবালি বাতাসে বাদাম দেখলে সাইয়া থাকি গো আমার নি কেউ আসে রে দারুণ আশা মাসরে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে আষাঢ়িয়া বর্ষার পানি রে
At the click of a button, the world is at our fingertips, and yet we are more isolated than ever. Technology, while the basis for survival during the pandemic, connecting us to our loved ones and providing some solace, has also confined us in small boxes where we only hear opinions that agree with our views and choose to perceive everything else as the other. Living in these narrow silos, the echo chambers have deafened our senses, where differences are something to be feared and stamped out, rather than embraced. And this is where the creative world can serve as the northern star, guiding humanity towards the light, towards hope and redemption. Music is universal. It touches the soul and pulls at our heartstrings, even when we do not understand the spoken language. From the Himalayas to the Appalachian Mountains, musicians sing of the earth and the ordinary people and their struggles. They sing of the surrounding land and of our connection to the mountain winds, the gurgling brooks, and the verdant meadows. As we listen to this world music and see the feet-tapping dancers, borders are erased and the human soul rejoices as one. This segment introduces Lochan Rijal. Lochan Rijal, in his quest for integrating more of Nepal's unique music in his compositions, has included the music of the Santals, Limbus, Damais, and Gandharvas this time. He spent the last year studying and recording their music, documenting their traditions, learning about their instruments that have been showcased in this composition. His interest in restoring nearly extinct Nepali instruments started with the Gandharva lute Arbaja, and this has carried over to the song. The nearly extinct Santhal chordophones, Fanta Dhanam and Katwanam, are also restored and featured in the song. The song Nepali is a call for celebration of the musical heritage, acceptance, inclusion, and ethnic unity of our beautiful country of Nepal. The diverse musicians from different parts of Nepal form the heart of this song. The priceless musical heritage that has been confined to the traditional setting is a treasury of irreplaceable sounds and instruments that, when brought out to the contemporary scene, has infinite potential for experimentation, sound design, and music production.
तेरा र मेरा संसार
सारा को कसको मलामी दायार बाया ईर्ष्या को हुरी 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 गुलामी सलामी विकास को आवश्यकता गहिरो भयो हिमाल तराई पहाडमा समावेशीको अत्यन्तै काँचो भयो Casco Malami Dayara Baya Irsha ko huri 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 Gulami Salami Oh, can't say a thing about it. Look out now, it's time to fight. Every now and then I wish you'd let me know before it's out. Won't you please just let me know so we can all go scream and shout. Yeah, can't say a thing about it. Everything would have been alright. Oh, can't say a thing about it. Next time we'll all hang out. Well, you open up your flap about it. Won't you please just show me the way? But you opened up a flap about it. Next time we can all just stay. Won't you please just let me know next time so we can get along? Please just let me know so we can all go scream and shout. Yes, she opened up a flap about it. Won't you please just let it ride? But she opened up a flap about it. Next time we can all say bye. Yes, she opened up her mouth about it. Everything would have been alright. But she opened up her mouth about it. Look out now, it's starting to fight. Every now and then I wish you'd let me know before it's out. Just let me know so we can all go scream and shout. Yeah, she opened up her mouth about it. Everything would have been alright. Then you had to say a thing about it. Won't you please just let it ride? Yeah, she opened up her mouth about it. Once again, it'll be alright. Now you don't feel good about it.
Hi, how's it going? We're Formidable Vegetable. My name's Charlie McGee. I'm Mel Webb.
And I'm Kylie Mario.
And we're back on the world stage. Well, world on the backyard stage here in Western Australia. And I want to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land, the Noongar Whadjuk people, and all Indigenous people really around the world who've been taking care of country and really, making the world habitable for as long as humans have existed. So I really want to just pay respects to the elders past, present and emerging for their important work. And your important work too. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing for the climate, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. We want to start with a little tune, it's more of a spoken word, called Climate Movement, about all of the important work that's being done around the world. Enjoy. I believe we all came to be here for a reason. To acknowledge the seniors, everything has a season. This season is warm, but it's bringing a storm, and a burning urge for our journey to transform. But held in our hand at this grave intersection is a map of the passage for a clearer direction to a permanent culture. It's time we began it with some wise design to realign with the planet. Share skills to rebuild our combined reliance, and with wild guidance redesign our diet. Befriend energy descent and the changing climate to grow forests of food and a finer environment. Permaculture at this tumultuous juncture is a superstructure that can plug the puncture in our society of anxiety, confusion and greed. This really may be one solution we need to bring back our elementary essence of ethics. Walking earth care, people care, fair share epic. Now's the time to embed it while the temperature's tepid. Let us rise as a choir beside the people who get it, to guarantee that our future generations' lives are provided the conditions they require to thrive, instead of being deprived of the tools to survive in a biosphere too defiled to revive. So we invite you now to amplify the synergy, inspire and devise your distinctive soliloquy, combining with like minds an adaptable symphony of radical simplicity, balance and symmetry. Whatever your ability, we need your assistance to aid in reclaiming a stable existence. So summon your gifts at this critical hour and deliver wherever they move and empower. Keep on doing the work. Thank you very much.
Problem is I don't sleep like I used to anymore. And all the projects that I started are out there on the lawn. I hope I find you while I'm young. I hope I find you while I'm young. You probably know her by her many mother's given names. disrespected her intently with your unforgiving shame. I hope you find me while I'm young. I hope you find me while I'm young. Divided nations, families, brothers, and broke countless natural laws. Resigned herself to all these hammers, sickles and saws. I hope you find me while you're young. I hope you find you while you're young. I hope I find me while I'm young. I hope I find me while I'm young.
Introducing Rachel Bayman. Originally from Chicago, Rachel Bayman moved to Nashville at 18 and has spent the last decade working as a solo artist and collaborator in the songwriter, roots, and bluegrass scenes. Her first solo album was produced by Andrew Marlin of Watch House and established her role as a new generation political songwriter. She continued to develop her unabashed and defined songwriting style in her 2021 album Cycles, which, while exploring new musical directions, still it stuck true to her style of flipping off the authorities one song at a time. Presenting Rachel Bayman.
Hey everyone, my name is Rachel Bayman. Really excited to be here in collaboration with the Healthy Climate Initiative, trying to save the Himalayan glaciers. So I'm going to start off with a song that I wrote about water security here in the United States. This was inspired by the protests surrounding the Dakota Access Pipeline, and this song's called Thanksgiving. The spirits were shed in a Thanksgiving day. But whom they first gathered.
In today's world, the havoc wrought by the indiscriminate use of resources has created a malaise that has affected every aspect of our lives. Mental health issues are on the rise, and discontent is also on the rise. Nothing seems to satisfy or make us happy. As we rush through our lives, let us pause for a moment and tune in to nature's music through this segment on classical Indian music. This music is deeply rooted in the natural elements. Ragas reflect the mood of the diurnal cycle and the change of the seasons. Every note, every tal is harmonized to capture the indelible bond that man has with nature. Indian classical music originated from the sounds of the ancient Vedas and the natural world. The 7 notes were born and became the ragas. The ragas are inextricably linked with the rasas of the emotions. When these ragas and rasas come together, they create a perfect harmony with the power to heal the broken and guide the lost. Introducing Anubhav Datta. Anubhav Datta is a singer and composer from Guwahati, Assam, who is pursuing his musical career in Mumbai since the last 5 years. He's a national award winner in the folk category and has won 3 positions representing his state Assam in the All India National Folk Song Competition, Kala Utsav, organized by the HRD Ministry Government of India. He has also sung in the chorus of song O Saki Saki from the movie Batla House, and Biprak, Neha Kakkar, and other artists have starred in this movie. He has also given some beautiful singles with some renowned Bollywood record labels, which you will find on YouTube. A young guy who loves to dream and sing his heart out for the people and loves to work for the betterment of society.
Namore kothia isore horoza Oi brahmai horoza Oi na Ei beana mulale dae no dhori ba Oi Oi prothome piri Madhoi maloti phul Eroi madhoi maloti phul Eroi khatote par korua me jai jati phul puali hati re phul Kothiyaroi madhoi maloti phul Isore horozaroi madhoi maloti phul Namore kothiyaroi madhoi maloti phul Isore horozaroi madhoi maloti phul E brahmai horozarame eroi madhoi maloti phul Eroi ghatote par koruane jai jati phul পুৱালি হাতীৰে ঐ দেনা মোলালে ৰৈ মাধৈ মালতী ফুল দাই নধৰিবা ৰৈ মাধৈ মালতী ফুল এই প্ৰথমে প্ৰীতি গানে ৰৈ মাধৈ মালতী ফুল ৰৈ ঘাটতে পাৰ কৰোৱানে যায় জাতি ফুল পুৱালি হাতীৰে ফুল কান্দিলে তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল হয় কলি ঐ চৰাই তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল চিটিকাৰ মুখলৈ চাই হেৰা নাচনি তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল যোৰহাটৰ গোলাপ ফুল চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি জেৰেঙা পথাৰত তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল কান্দে জয়মতীয়ে তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল চাউ ডাঙৰ মুখলৈ চাই হেৰা নাচনি তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল যোৰহাটৰ গোলাপ ফুল চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি বৰুৱাই তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল গদাধৰ কোঁৱৰক তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল খোৱালে এসাজি ভাতে হেৰা নাচনি তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল যোৰহাটৰ গোলাপ ফুল চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি নাইলে চায়ে তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল কান্দে ইনাই বিনাই তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল জেৰেঙাৰ মুখলৈ চাই হেৰা নাচনি তিতিকি ঐ তিতা ফুল যোৰহাটৰ গোলাপ ফুল চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি চেনি মৰা বাগিচাৰ চিঠি
আশা জাগে যে ফুল দুলিয়াছি নিঠুর পায়ে যে ফুল দুলিয়াছি নিঠুর পায়ে সাজায় ধরি তারে মুখে জড়ায় উদাসীন হিয়া হায় ভেঙে ওঠে অবেলায় উদাসীন হিয়া হায় ভেঙে ওঠে অবেলায় সোনার গধূলির আগে সোনার গধূলির আগে আবার ভালোবাসার সাজাগে আবার ফাগুন সমীর কেন বহে আমার ভুবন ভরে কেঁদে ওঠে বাঁশরি অসীম বিরহে আবার ফাগুন সমীর কেন বহে আমার ভুবন ভরে কেঁদে ওঠে বাঁশরি অসীম বিরহে তপবনের বুকে ঝর্ণা সম কে সহসাহে প্রিয়তম তপবনের বুকে ঝর্ণা সম কে সহসাহে প্রিয়তম মাথুরের গোকুল সহসা রাঙাইলে মাথুরের গোকুল সহসা রাঙাইলে রাশের কুমকুম ফাগে রাশের কুমকুম ফাগে আবার ভালোবাসার সাজাগে সে পুরাতন চাঁদ
This song will be sung in form of a kajri, and this was written by Ramdas.
बरसन लागी बदरिया रोम जोम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रोम जोम के बरसन लागी हाँ बरसन लागी बदरिया रोम जोम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रोम जोम के बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम जोम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम जोम के बरसन लागी बिजुरिया चमके बादल गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बादल गरजे हाँ बादल गरजे बादल गरजे बादल गरजे हाँ बादल गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बादल गरजे बिजुरिया चमके बोलन लागे हाँ बोलन लागे हाँ बोलन लागे कोयलिया घूम घूम के बोलन लागे कोयलिया घूम घूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया घूम घूम के बरसन लागे बदरिया रूम झूम के रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी गोविंद स्वामी गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी रामदास के गोविंद स्वामी चरण कमल हाँ चरण कमल हाँ चरण कमल नित चूम चूम के चरण कमल नित चूम चूम के बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम 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 के बरसन लागी बदरिया बरसन लागी हाँ बरसन लागी हाँ बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के
Introducing Nomita Roy Chaudhary. Nomita Roy Chaudhary lives in the world of music and is a proponent of Rabindra Sangeet. She has a melodious voice and her soulful renditions truly reflect the heritage of Tagore songs in their truest form. With her dedication and passion, she has earned love and respect from an avid audience in the Indian subcontinent. To her credit, Nomita has several albums dedicated to Tagore songs. Nomita is also a prolific writer and poet. Her poems are synonymous with divine love and romance with nature. Nomita is a regular performer in the Kolkata circuit and in Shantiniketan.
রতনে ভূষণে যতনে প্রকৃতি সতীরে সাজিয়ে দাও আজি নূতন রতনে ভূষণে যতনে প্রকৃতি সতীরে সাজিয়ে দাও আজি সাগরে ভুবনে আকাশে পবনে সাগরে ভুবনে আকাশে পবনে নূতন কিরণ ছড়িয়ে দাও আজি নূতন রতনে ভূষণে যতনে প্রকৃতি সতীরে সাজিয়ে দাও আজি পুরানো যা কিছু দাও গো ঘুচিয়ে মলিন যা কিছু ফেলো গো মুছিয়ে পুরানো যা কিছু দাও গো ঘুচিয়ে মলিন যা কিছু ফেলো গো মুছিয়ে শ্যামলে কোমলে কনকে হীরকে শ্যামলে কোমলে কনকে হীরকে ভুবন ভূষিত করিয়ে দাও আজি নূতন রতনে ভূষণে যতনে প্রকৃতি সতীরে সাজিয়ে দাও আজি বিনাই মুরজে শোননে গরজে জাগিয়া উঠো গো গীতি গো আজি হিয়ার মাঝারে জগৎ বাহিরে ঘুরিয়া উঠো গো প্রীতি গো আজি বিনাই মুরজে শোননে গরজে জাগিয়া উঠো গো গীতি গো আজি হিয়ার মাঝারে জগৎ বাহিরে ঘুরিয়া উঠো গো প্রীতি গো আজি নূতন আলোকে নূতন পুলকে গাও গো ভাষায় ধুলোকে দুলোকে নূতন আলোকে নূতন পুলকে গাও গো ভাষায় ধুলোকে দুলোকে নূতন হাসিতে বাসনা রাশিতে নূতন হাসিতে বাসনা রাশিতে জীবন মরণ ঘুরিয়ে দাও আজি নূতন রতনে ভূষণে যতনে প্রকৃতি সতীরে সাজিয়ে দাও আজি সাগরে ভুবনে আকাশে পবনে নূতন কিরণ বাংলা প্রাণের সুর। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। আমি বাংলায় গান গাই, আমি বাংলার গান গাই, আমি আমার আমিকে চিরদিন এই বাংলায় খুঁজে পাই। আমি বাংলায় দেখি স্বপ্ন, আমি বাংলায় বাঁধি সুর। আমি এই বাংলার মায়া ভরা পথে হেঁটেছি এতটা দূর। বাংলা আমার জীবনানন্দ, বাংলা প্রাণের সুর। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। আমি বাংলায় কথা কই, আমি বাংলার কথা কই, আমি বাংলায় ভাসি, বাংলায় হাসি, বাংলায় জেগে রই। আমি বাংলায় কথা কই, আমি বাংলার কথা কই, আমি বাংলায় ভাসি, বাংলায় হাসি, বাংলায় জেগে রই। আমি বাংলায় মাটি উল্লাসে করি, বাংলায় হাহাকার। আমি সব দেখে শুনে হেঁপে গিয়ে করি বাংলায় চিৎকার। বাংলা আমার তৃপ্ত স্লোগান, কিন্তু ধ্বনি। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। আমি বাংলায় ভালোবাসি, আমি বাংলাকে ভালোবাসি, আমি তারই হাত ধরে সারা পৃথিবীর মানুষের কাছে আসি। আমি বাংলায় ভালোবাসি, আমি বাংলাকে ভালোবাসি, আমি তারই হাত ধরে সারা পৃথিবীর মানুষের কাছে আসি। আমি যা কিছু মহান বরণ করেছি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধায়, বেশে 13 নদী 7 সাগরের জল, গঙ্গায় পদ্মায়। বাংলা আমার তৃষ্ণার জল, তৃপ্ত শেষ চুমুক। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার মুখ। আমি একবার দেখি, বারবার দেখি, দেখি বাংলার
Interview of Durwood Silk by Dr. Leslie Field. Durwood Silk is the founder and president of the Institute for Governance and Sustainable Development in Washington, D.C. and Paris, focusing on mitigation strategies that avoid maximum warming over the next decade to slow climate feedbacks and avoid tipping points. Prior to IGSD, Zilk co-founded and served as president of the Center for International Environmental Law in Washington, D.C. and Geneva from 1989 to 2003, and co-founded the program on governance for sustainable development at the Brand School of Environmental Science and Management, UC Santa Barbara. Zilk is the author of International Environmental Law and Policy with Hunter and Salzman, which is currently in its 6th edition. Interviewing him today is Dr. Leslie Field, founder and CEO of Bright Ice Initiative. Dr. Field is an inventor with 61 issued U.S. patents. She has authored numerous peer-reviewed papers and technical conference talks, as well as presentations in venues worldwide, including the United Nations, International Maritime Organization, and the World Economic Forum in Davos and the Arctic Circle's Assembly. She is excited to have started Bright Ice Initiative, a new climate nonprofit to further accelerate the work of addressing climate change challenges using localized and low-impact approaches to increase the reflectivity of glacial ice and snow to slow the melt, following the Oxford Principles, and working via close collaboration with the indigenous and local communities. Additionally, Dr. Field teaches an annual seminar course at Stanford University on engineering, entrepreneurship, and climate change.
I am delighted today to be interviewing Durwood Zelke, and I'll tell you more about him in a moment. Welcome, Durwood. I'm Dr. Leslie Field, the founder of Bright Ice Initiative, a nonprofit based in the U.S., whose initial focus is on saving glacial ice in the Himalayas. And I'm an adjunct lecturer at Stanford University, where I teach an annual class on engineering and climate change. Durwood Zelke heads the IGSD, the Institute for Governance and Sustainable Development, has taught at various law schools, including Yale and Duke, and is an adjunct professor at UC Santa Barbara. He is a frequent author of learned papers on the importance of the Arctic to the health of the world's ecosystems, and is the co-author of International Environmental Law and Policy, now in its 6th edition. Welcome, Durwood.
Very nice to be here, Leslie.
And thank you for joining us to help people who are attending this climate benefit concert to help save glacial ice, starting with the Himalayas, to help people understand the importance of these issues. First question, how important to climate is the loss of reflective ice?
Well, Leslie, I don't think we can keep the climate safe unless we learn how to slow down the reflective ice of the world. This is the Arctic sea ice, the Arctic land-based ice, the Himalayan Hindu Kush, Tibetan plateau ice, and all the glaciers of the world. And it is now giving us this incredible climate benefit by sending incoming solar radiation safely back to space. It's a huge white shield that is protecting the climate. And if we lose it, we're going to add just the Arctic sea ice, just one piece, Arctic sea ice. We will add the equivalent of 25 years worth of today's climate emissions. That's about half of what we put in since pre-industrial times. That's just the sea ice. Then if you add the land-based snow and ice, it could be the same amount. This is if cloud cover doesn't change, because if the clouds dissipate, right now those clouds are reflecting a lot of extra incoming solar radiation as well. And if they dissipate as the Arctic warms, then the amount we'll be adding could be 3 times that. Okay, and this is game over. The permafrost. We used to have permanent frost in the circumpolar north. As the world warms at the North Pole, that permafrost is collapsing, and it emits these ancient stores of CO2, carbon dioxide, that's super greenhouse gas, methane, even more powerful, 80 times to 100 times more powerful in a 20-year period than CO2, and N2O as well. So you start this wicked interrelated cascade. So there's a great paper that came out last week by McKay and others in Science. It is now the definitive statement on the feedbacks and the tipping points. And they point out rightly that we're at 1.1 degrees Celsius of pre-industrial times. That's the amount of global average warming we put into the system. And when we hit 1.5, which could be in 5 to 10 years, could be less, but it could be 5 to 10, almost certainly, we're going to run into 6 powerful, irreversible tipping points with potentially catastrophic impacts. So the world is headed for disaster. I mean, we're already seeing, the droughts, the floods, the wildfires. Look at Pakistan. Look at California. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening already today. And so we are about to lose control of the climate system, and saving snow and ice and restoring it, not just saving it, but restoring it, is one of the most important levers for keeping us from the disaster, complete disaster.
Thank you. Yes, and let me add that there is hope, because there are people, groups, including ourselves, who are working hard on working hard on solutions to keep that ice and snow in place, restore it in fact.
Welcome to the watershed segment of our program. The name is evocative of the natural phenomena which marks the dividing line, an area where all water flows to a common location. And just like their natural counterpart, these artists today are the turning point. They have significant contributions in their field that have changed the notion of how people view music. In this segment, we will be presenting the works of well-renowned global artists who are bound by one common thread, other than being the top of their fields. That is their concern for our planet, their concern about climate change, and their urge to do something about it. Today, they have donated their music to the cause to help raise awareness about the imminent danger of climate disasters at our doorstep. It is our hope that this watershed event will spur each and every one of you to take action. Let this be the watershed event that spurs us to action. In today's watershed section, we present Shantanu Moitro. Shantanu Moitro is a national award-winning Bollywood music composer and producer. Shantanu Moitro is known for his innovative soundtracks and his ability to rediscover and reinvent folk music. His love of exploring the unknown serves as a source of inspiration, leading him to new places and cuisines. Over the past 20 years, he has created some path-breaking compositions for blockbuster films like Parinita, 3 Idiots, Lage Raho Munna Bhai, Hazaro Khwaishein Hai, Madras Cafe, Gulabo Sitaro, among many, many others. His songs Give Me Some Sunshine, All Is Well, Piu Bole, Pal Pal Har Pal, Lagi Re Lagan, and many others have gone to be chartbusters. He recently produced, created, and featured in a one-of-a-kind travel adventure documentary series called The Songs of the River Ganga. In this series, he traveled on a bicycle from the origin of River Ganga at Gomu and ended at the delta at Gangashagar. The 6-episode series, shot between October and December last year, traces the emotional and spiritual calling of the composer and also explores his creative dimensions. Shantanu is joined on this expedition by well-known Indian singers, composers and songwriters including Mohit Chauhan, Mati Bani and Taba Chake, Bombay Jayashree, Sid Sriram, Kaushiki Chakraborty and Ambi Subramaniam, presenting Shantanu Moitro and Songs of the River.
जिंदगी मुझको उड़ा के ले जा रही है और मैं चला दूर से आवाज कोई आ रही है और मैं चला क्या हुआ क्यों हुआ सोचना छोड़ के चल पड़ा ला रा रे छाँव छुई नहीं रे जिंदगी मुझको उड़ा के ले जा रही है और मैं चला दूर से आवाज कोई आ रही है और मैं चला क्या हुआ क्यों हुआ सोचना छोड़ के चल पड़ा धूप की चादर ओढ़ के छाँव छुई नहीं रे जिंदगी धीमे सुरों में कुछ गा रही है और मैं चला अभी है यहाँ रे कल जाने हो कहाँ रे तू भी खो जाएगा सितारों में कहीं कभी चुपके से शाम आके बोली क्यों है गुमसुम तू गीत गा ले कोई जो भी है सब तेरा है यहाँ जिंदगी मुझको उड़ा के ले जा रही है और मैं चला दूर से आवाज कोई आ रही है और मैं चला क्या हुआ क्यों हुआ सोचना छोड़ के चल पड़ा धूप की चादर ओढ़ के छाँव छुई नहीं रे और मैं चला और मैं चला
song that you just heard was from an incredible journey that I took along the Ganga. And this is in the Himalayas where I composed the song. And how scary it is to think that this beautiful village that you saw, these people that you saw, this music that you heard, these great vistas and mountains that you saw, it could all vanish very, very soon because the glaciers are melting very fast. And they're melting very fast because we don't care. It's such a privilege and an honor to be part of the Climate Benefit Concert. This concert is helping raise funds to save the Himalayan glaciers. Now when you hear this, it seems almost very academic, seems almost, what's it to me? Himalayan glaciers are melting, so what? But I had the privilege of roaming around the Himalayas for the past 15 years. And as beautiful as the Himalayas are and as incredible as its stories are, the truth is I've also seen what does melting of the glaciers mean and how does it affect the everyday life. Let me start off by saying that I'm a music composer. A part of me is creating music, some for Bollywood, some for non-film, some for myself. But an essential part of me is a traveler. And I don't think so there's anything more beautiful than the Himalayas. I have traveled the world, trust me. But something happens when that bus from Rishikesh gradually meanders across those small roads, and as it enters the bastion of the Himalayas, you feel so peaceful, you feel so blessed that you're getting an opportunity to see this. And as you go higher and higher and higher, the beauty becomes more and more spectacular. I've spent many incredible part of my journeys in unknown huts, unknown tea stalls, who have sheltered me. I'll share with you a small story which you'll understand why my heart bleeds out whenever I think about how these glaciers melting can be affecting such stories. I was in Uttarakhand many years back. I just reached college and I just wanted to discover. And I was on my own and I was going to a place which was in the Indo-China border, and it was a restricted place and you needed an inner-line permit to go and visit that place. Anyway, by the time I reached halfway point, it started raining crazily and it was almost like a cloudburst that happened. And 2 days and nights it continuously rained and I was in a tea stall. The shop owner gave me some shelter. It was cold, but he said you can spend your time there. He talked to me, he smiled, he chatted with me. His son was unwell. I gave him some medicines, the standard routine medicines like crocin and some stomach ailment medicines. But the third day I realized that if I wait any longer, my inner line permit will be over and I will not be able to go to see that particular place. So I hastily said goodbye to him the third morning and I left for this particular place. This is from this tea stall to where I was going was roughly 2 days trek. After 2 days when I reached there and there was a cop who greeted me smilingly and just stuck out his hand and said, permit. And as I put my hand inside the pocket, I realized I was not carrying my wallet. So either the wallet was, I found down somewhere on the way in this rain, or it could be at the tea store where I was tissue shop that was last minute, 294. This police guy immediately realized that I don't have the body. He says, "Aap yahan se nikal jaiye. First go from here. Otherwise, if my officer comes and sees you and tells you don't have the body, they'll put you straight behind bars. This is an absolute high security area." And I left from there. I kind of went 2 kilometers away from this place. There was a small temple, and I requested the Purohit, the priest there, to give me some shelter there. He said, "Okay, fine." But I was absolutely bamboozled in my head. No politics, no money, no permit. How do I go back all the way to Delhi? These are people who understand there were no mobile police. So I was like really worried. I hardly ate anything at night and I went to sleep. And sometime at 4:30 in the morning there was a metal door of the temple was being banged by somebody. It was raining. I don't know this. And I went to open the door and there standing was the tea shop owner, completely dressed, with a smile on his face. He said, "Namaskar saab. Aapka kab do?" I said, "Namaskar, you are wanted." If you calculate the time, it took me 2 days to reach this place. He did this journey in exactly 1 day. He pretty much walked at this because he was afraid that I could be in trouble. And I offered this man some money from the wallet. And he again put his hand and told me, that Saab, please pray that tomorrow if somebody else is in trouble, I can help that person without thinking of the money. We are people of Himalayas. Guests are like gods. Money doesn't come in the way. This is my duty and this is my honor. Saying that, he made a cup of tea for him and me, and every morning he left. So, when I realized that because of our mindlessness, we are affecting the way the glaciers are rapidly melting, Himalaya degrading. I also am aware that the life of this tea shop owner is affected. Because the glaciers are melting, the rivers are swelling. Where this tea shop was is not there anymore. We have to move from there. And many thousands of homes have to move from where they are. And maybe they have to come down to the city to look for work. And maybe they will learn how to cheat. Maybe they will learn how to tell a lie. Maybe they will realize that if you help somebody, you can earn some money. And maybe these simple folks in Himalayas will become the last of us miracles. They will just stories like myths. So when I was told that such a concert was happening, I said, of course I'm a composer and music is part of what I do, but I thought it was important to share with you such stories that I have seen, not just that I've read them. I've seen these stories happen in front of me. In 2016, I spent 100 days across the Himalayas, above 40,000 feet, with my very good friend Rituaj. It was a self-discovery. It was also to understand. I was till then, I would hear about climate change, but I never understood what it meant. But having done this journey above 40,000 feet, I realized what climate change is. I keep on saying Himalayas lost the most, last of the vistas, last of this incredible land like we see in Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. It's the last of the land. It is not just because of the beauty I told before. It's because of the people.